Okay, video number 2 for the orange belt. You know, again, like I said on the last video, it is a beautiful day. The first couple tapes I made outside, but now we're back in the dojo. And one of the main reasons for coming back to the dojo is that's exactly where I want you guys to come back to the dojo. Sometimes we take for granted in life the things that we do. Sometimes we can complain about going to work. Sometimes we can complain about doing certain chores. Kids cutting the lawns, going out, raking leaves when you have to, shoveling snow. But those little things have changed now in our mindset, right? We want to come to the dojo. We want to come to work. We want to be able to go to work. We want to be able to do chores. We want to be able to socialize with people, and that will return. And it will return sooner than later. Every day that we move forward is one day that this horrific thing is going to be behind us. Like I always say in every tape, one day at a time. Today's a beautiful day. Today's a great day. Let's make it a great day. And we really can't put too much investment yet in tomorrow because that hasn't come yet. That's kind of unborn. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is not here. And today is be in the present is what I'm saying. Okay, so we're going to work on orange belt today. Again, I lack an uke to keep the social distancing up. And we're going to work on this technique, tape 2, orange belt. First technique we're going to work on is a cross wrist grab. Very, very important technique for my instructors to focus on. It's a very important technique for my students to focus on because it teaches a lot of different principles. It also incorporates all the ranges of weapons that I taught in an earlier video. The main thing when a person grabs you got to remember something, that in Jiu-Jitsu, American Jiu-Jitsu, we actually consider a grab a gift. Now that might sound a little crazy, but we do. Okay, when a person grabs you, we know exactly where the person's hand is. So we have a straight wrist grab where a person can grab my hand, like if you reached out on your TV or your video, wherever you're watching this, and you grab me straight, that would be a straight wrist grab. A cross would be the opposite hand, a cross wrist grab. So in a cross wrist grab technique, or any wrist grab technique, or any grab technique, we consider that a gift. And we consider it a gift because we know exactly where that person's hand is. Person grabs me cross wrist grab, they can't punch me with that hand. Okay, we know exactly what it is. We know the threat actually comes from the other side in a cross wrist grab. So if a person grabs me cross wrist grab, the free hand is over there. So what we want to do is we want to distance ourselves away from that free hand, okay, by bringing the thumb to the nose, okay? So when a person grabs you cross wrist grab, we want to sidestep and bring our thumb to the nose. The reason why that's such an important thing, and people that have been with me for over 35 years will still remember that like it was yesterday the first time they learned it, is because by bringing your thumb to your nose, you are forcibly keeping your hand up and creating a distance from that other free hand. We're always worried about the free hand. We're never worried about the grabbing hand, because the grabbing hand, especially with Jiu-Jitsu, is what we're all about. Okay? So we sidestep. When we sidestep, remember what I said about off balance? You take the person slightly off balance, because if you don't, they could do the technique that I'm going to show you. So you take them slightly off balance, not too much off balance, because then they're going to take a step, a little bit off balance, and then we're going to use our range, our long range weapons or our distance weapons to kick that person in the groin. Okay, so what's happening here is we're being grabbed, we're going to move to the side, thumb to the nose, and then we're going to put on that gakun again. So that means we take our wrist and we leaf it over the hand. All right, so as the person's grabbing it, we're going to leaf it over the hand and just control their hand so they can't let go, okay? So we don't grab, by the way, closed, we grab open. All right, we grab like this. 3 fingers around, this is here, and this finger points up. We'll talk about why this finger points up later, but now it's not important. So when we grab, this is what we call a gakun grab. It's a specific type of grab, a little different than the conventional way that you might think to grab. So what's happening here is that when the person grabs my wrist, I'm going to move to the side and put that gakun on, okay? And now I'm away from the free hand. From here, I shift my weight, in this case, to my left side. So if my weight is already shifted, this leg can come right off the ground and kick. So if it was the bag from here, as I shift the weight from here, bang, I can kick, and all you have to do is kick to the groin. You don't have to kick hard, kick to the groin. All right, so we move to the side, kick to the groin. Now we settle down, we punch, and we use the mid-range weapon that we learned. Okay? So again, we're going to move to the side, we're going to kick to the groin, punch. Now, everybody that first learns this technique wants a knee with the right knee. that means you haven't shifted your weight properly. When you knee, you want to knee with the left leg. That means you shifted your weight properly. I'll show you what I mean, okay? So we move to the side, we kick, we punch, and as we punch, we shift the weight to the right side. So now this left leg should be very easily be able to move. So now we're going to knee, bang, which is going to drive that person up, okay? So it's really important that you get that and understand why we're doing it. It's because it's a proper distribution of body weight. So again, we're going to move to the side, we're going to kick, that would be to the groin, that's going to hunch the person over, and we're going to punch, okay, to the face. Now the person will be hunched over from the kick to the groin, and we're going to bring this knee up, bang, we're going to knee. And that's going to bring the person back up, and then boom, we're going to finish off with that roundhouse elbow strike. All right, so watch it again. We're going to move to the side, kick, punch, knee, and then roundhouse elbow strike will finish that person off. So the key with this movement is to learn all the principles, okay? One, we want to move away from the free, well, one, we want to consider the grab a gift. Two, we want to move away from the free hand by shifting our body weight in what we call a tazabaki, moving in this case to the left side. We want to slightly take the person off balance. We want to kick to the groin, we want to punch to the face, we want a knee that's going to drive him back up, and then bang, we're going to finish him off with that roundhouse elbow strike, okay? Here, as we kick, punch, and knee, I could strike and knee strike. You can use a lot of different types of combination, but for today, use the one that we have on the video. As for the beltless, yes, we're doing the roundhouse elbow strikes. I just wanted to check that to make sure I don't go off track. So one more time, we're going to go kick, punch, shift the weight, knee, and then finish the person off with that roundhouse elbow strike. A lot of principles in that technique. One is we're learning about the gift of the grab. Two is we're learning about the gakun. Three, we're learning to bring the thumb to the nose, move off the line of attack, getting away from the free hand. And then we're also learning how to use all ranges of weapons. We're learning how to use that kick, we're learning mid-range, from here mid-range, from here knee strike, and then finish off with that infighting downward elbow strike. So that's your cross wrist grab at the orange belt category. And now we're going to move on to our next technique. Now the next technique is a little challenging without an uke. So I have my germ-free uke right here. You all know from that schoolyard headlock when a person grabs you in a headlock like so. All right? And that's always a tough thing to kind of figure out, like, are they grabbing us like joking around, hey, I heard you take some jiu-jitsu, or are they grabbing us into more of a desperate type of a situation? So let's take the first one, where they're grabbing us in what I call like a buddy type of a grab. They're kind of putting their hands around your shoulders, but they're not pulling in with the headlock. We'll do it with the headlock in a second, but first we're gonna, that person who comes up and puts their arm around you and just kind of makes you feel like they're your buddy, but you're not feeling comfortable with this. This actually happened to me many years ago in a place that I went in where a guy kind of grabbed me like he was his buddy, and he was a little, let's say, intoxicated and very unprofessional, and I didn't know who he was, and I wasn't comfortable, and I actually did this technique where I didn't have to hurt the person, but I made the person realize that it's not the right person to put their hands on, okay? So, picture a person putting their hand around my shoulders like this right next to me, okay? So here I am in a split screen. Here I am as the person about to do the technique, and here I am as the person about to grab. So the person's grabbing me around the neck, like so. Not putting me in a headlock yet. We'll do that in a second. They're grabbing me, kind of what we call a buddy grab. Now, all you have to do here, it's kind of bizarre how simple it is. So if you picture an arm coming around my neck like this, okay, all we have to do, give me 1 second. Okay, so give me 1 second. So if you picture a person putting an arm around my neck right here, okay, all we have to do when that arm comes around the neck is go under the arm, and we could actually break the person's arm or bring the person down to the ground. So when the person is grabbing me, all I have to do is come under the arm, and I can bring the person down in a very gentle way, okay? So the person puts the arm, I come under and over the arm. So now I have an arm right in between me. I grab my own hand, I just step back, and that person would be brought down to the ground, okay? So watch that one more time. The person's putting the hand around me like so, okay? what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come under, over, now I'm over the arm, I'm by the elbow joint, I'm gonna grab my own hand and step back with my right leg and bang, promise you, this person will hit the ground faster. And if you wanna do it severe, you would do it a little bit nastier. And if you wanna just submit the person, in case what I did, I just submitted the person, you just have to bring that arm around, step back, and you're good to go. Here's another one where the guy kind of pulls us in, that headlock that I just showed you before, where they kind of pull us in. It's kind of the same thing, kind of a simple thing. We're gonna go under the arm again, but now we're gonna take this finger, we're gonna put it on the nose, and this finger and put it on the jaw, and we're just gonna squeeze it together. And what we're gonna do is as we come around, putting this finger on the nose and the jaw, we're just gonna push it back. Watch now I step back with my left leg, push it back, and tell the person, don't put your hands on me, and then we're gonna step back into a defensive stance. So what's happening now, again, is the guy's pulling me in with that headlock. Now he's putting the headlock on. Again, he's not tanking it on, he's kind of putting it on. So the first one was kind of like a buddy, now he's kind of closing it a little bit. So we're gonna do the same motion, we're gonna come up underneath, but we're gonna put this finger on the nose, this finger on the jaw. We're gonna squeeze them together and just take his head and move it, and then we're gonna step back into a defense stance, tell the person, don't put your hands on me. We have a rule in Jiu-Jitsu where the head goes, the body follows. If you ask me the question, what happens if now all of a sudden you do that to somebody and they start getting nasty with me? Okay, because when you do defend yourself, even in a submission type of way, a person can go from 1 to 10 very, very quickly, and that's okay. If a person did try to put that headlock on and did try to bring me down to the ground, what we're gonna do is the opposite of what they expect us to do, right? So they expect us to resist. We're not gonna do that. When a person puts the headlock around my neck and tries to drag me down to the ground, I'm gonna go with that person down to the ground, but I'm gonna go down on one knee, okay? So if the person grabbed me, I'm gonna go down on one knee. Let me get a little further back so you can see that better. Okay, if the person grabs me, I'm gonna go down on one knee, and then I'm gonna strike to the person's groin. And all I have to do is an uppercut to the groin, and then that person is gonna fall forward. Okay, so watch that again. So they've been grabbing a headlock, I go with it, instead of trying to fight it, going back and forth. Main thing that I want you to remember though, is that when you go down to the ground, you're gonna take your left hand and put it around the person's waist. There's a reason for that later on, but right now just trust me to do that. Don't keep your hands in front. Keep your right hand in front, up, so if they try to throw a punch when they're doing that, okay? For now, keep your left hand around the waist and keep your other hand up. And as you go down to the ground, you're gonna go down to the ground with the pull and just take an uppercut and bang, drive it right to the groin. That's pretty much all you're gonna need. There is additional technique that's hard for me to do without an uke right now that we will show you, but if that's what you remember today, that's the part that I want you to remember. Just driving with an uppercut right to the groin, and that'll bring the person down to the ground face first, okay? So now, we're gonna talk about what if they throw a punch, okay? They put us in that headlock, and they go and throw a quick punch. That's why you always gotta keep your hands up, okay? So what's gonna happen is they put that headlock on me, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put the left hand around the waist, my free hand's gonna be up so I can't get hit. As I block that punch, this hand now is gonna grab the person's hair, and this hand's gonna palm blow, and then with our left leg, boom, we're gonna step right back, and that's gonna bring the person down to the ground. Remember I said, where the head goes, the body follows. So now they're not pulling me down to the ground, they're kind of putting that headlock on, and they're looking to punch me in the face, okay? So again, what's gonna happen is as they do that, my left hand is gonna come around their waist, my free hand is always up no matter what, but now I see that punch is coming. So now they're not trying to take me down, they're trying to hit me with that punch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the back of the head, it'll be right there. If you can't, if the person is being fashionable and they have no hair, grab their ear, grab their collar, okay? As we do that, after we block the punch, we're just gonna take this palm blow and drive it right to the person's face as we rip the head back, and that's gonna get you out of that situation in a heartbeat, okay? I hope you can picture what it is that we're doing, because you know, we're all working without an uke today, and we're trying to do the best we could. We're gonna conclude number 2 video with this, and then I have number 3 and possibly number 4 coming up to finish the orange belt category. Remember what I always say, okay? Every day is a great day. If you make it only a good day, it's a good day. If you make it a great day, it's a great day. There's so many inspirational stories that is coming out of this. There's so many good deeds that are coming out of this. There's so many good-natured people. People call me up all the time and say, they check with me, OSENSEI, how you doing? Do you need anything? Just wonderful to be so blessed and surrounded by so many people. And this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, to keep you guys occupied. All right? So, 3 things, okay? Actually 5. 1, remember, check out our group page on Facebook, which will post one of these videos every day, American Jiu-Jitsu LI. Same tag, American Jiu-Jitsu LI on YouTube. This will be in a library that you can go back and reference all of these tapes. Okay? 3 things I always say: stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next tape.